Hey guys, BlueShifting here. Welcome back to Drop of Poison. Now we're gonna jump back in here, and I left the girls. They just gone to a cafe, get some food, and then we're going to go to the aquarium. Hopefully, feeling as if she'd seen right through me, we head into the nearby coffee shop. Oh, I thought they were going for ramen. It is apparently famous for following its coverage in a magazine for a sandwich that was overflowing with vegetables. Ugh. I say apparently because on excitedly finding the restaurant, Himino shares this. Compared to a hamburger shop, this place is a bit intimidating and trendy to me, but since I'm with Himino, it doesn't bother me at all. Hipster glasses. Hipster. Not hipster at all. Shoving the roasted chicken sandwich with extra olives that I ordered into my mouth, the unease I've been feeling disappears. Aww. In contrast to my fervor, Himino eats her avocado and shrimp sandwich in small bites. Just a little hamster. She would. Well then, about our plans for today. Himino starts as soon as we have finished eating. We'll start with the aquarium. No matter what, it's the main thing, so we'll look into that old man's ghost and the closed-off deep-sea fishing booth rumors. After that, we'll go to shops and finally have some ice cream. I think it's better to get the cookies and cream first. If you eat 2 times, you'll mess up that stomach and get fat. You won't be able to wear a bathing suit. Oh man! If only it took one. If only it was that easy to get fat, no fat. Aw, Himino, it's no fair for you to put it that way. It isn't fair. Himino's in the exercise club, so she'd be fine. But for someone like me who doesn't exercise enough, it makes me stop and think. I don't know why. She's like the skinniest twig ever. Having said I want to go to the pool is all the more important. Okay then, we'll stick with my plan. It was a delicious meal. And she rises from the table. Urged on by Himino, I decided to leave the ice cream shop for another time. Aww, that was like the whole point of this trip. Talking about silly things together, we leave the station behind. As opposed to the station's excellent cooling system, the city streets have a particular humidity and heat to them that envelops our bodies. Beginning of July, summer has only just begun, and I can already tell it's going to be a tough one. I know that feeling. Summers in North Carolina were like, you'd jump into a shower, you'd clean yourself, you'd come out of the shower, and an hour later you wouldn't feel dry, even just with a towel. It's just gross and sticky. Don't quote me on that. We weave our way through the crowd until we were 10 minutes away from the station, finally ending up in front of a skyscraper. Wow, that's a... This building is a symbol for the people of Mayton, a combined facility for commerce, what you might call a fashion building in reference to the business it contains. Mayton is a town known for as a place people go for amusement. Even if you really want to have a good time, they have a movie theater, arcades, and several shops, though you need to have money, of course. Not very many places they're like, oh, come and have fun for free. Because of that, young men and women are more numerous than boys and girls. In this town, people older than us, Himino scans the panels for each floor without fear, saying, the aquarium is... People are concentrated around the panels. So, I guess that just means it was busy? Of little help to Himino in trying to take up as little space as possible, I leave the search to her and gaze up at the building. I look up and up, but the top of the building is so far I think my neck will snap. It's true. It's like that. I love that feeling when you're like in a downtown, like Chicago or New York or anywhere like that. Like you stand at the base of those buildings, you look up, and the clouds are moving. It like makes it look like the building's falling on you. It's great. That's magnificent. This building was built not long after I was born. It had been finished before I could walk, but the first and only time I came here was in elementary school. The instant I think back to my first visit, my head begins to hurt. Jeez. What was that? No, I've tried not to think about it. Those are things from long ago, things from the past, things that are done. I can do nothing but deal with the pain that it feels as something is pressing against the inside of my skull. God, this thing took it. Oh, like things took that twisted quick. I finally hear Himino calling me out to me in a loud voice. The elevator's this way. Come on. I push my away my headache and step through the automatic door. This is not gonna be fun. The information at the entrance and the placement of the crane game are exactly the same as that day, giving me a slightly bad feeling. I feel you, girl. This is... It's that cold. Okay. Looks beautiful art. Like, it is just fantastic. Oh, is this a transition or what? Oh, okay. Darn it. I shouldn't have ended the first video so close to the chapter. Ooh. Oh, it's like it's like an episode intro. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my goodness, that's cool. Like this, like, it looks like this is gonna be really in depth. I had no idea I was gonna have this many characters. Oh my goodness. I hope this isn't copyrighted, so I'm gonna kind of keep talking about it. So, I'm just really interested to see how this is gonna feel. Like, I love visual novels because the ones that are done really good, it could feel like a TV show, and yet it can have more depth to it because it kind of sucks you in and lets you kind of feel like you're there. Oh gosh, doesn't look very nice. Oh no! Oh, this is good. Oh gosh, we're gonna have the minds are gonna be blown, aren't they? Okay, that doesn't look like horrifying at all. Oh, careful. Oh, is that cool? Like her past self? I wonder if we're gonna be playing like across time, like seeing the events of both stories happening simultaneously. That'd be really cool. Oh my goodness! Wow, this is beautiful. Kudos to the creators. This is definitely something that's going to be fun. I'm going to feel really silly if they have more of those intros. In the elevator landing, we head to the top floor of the separate Manhattan East building. The elevator is a type that has glass windows so you can see out. That is the only thing that distracted me from my gloom. God, she just like walks in a cloud of like torture. A crowd of people gets on with us, but almost all of them are gone by the time we reach the floor that contains the aquarium. They probably stopped off at the apparel or sundries shops. Sundries shops? Is that like dried fruit stand? Also, is it really practical to put an aquarium on like one of the the top floors of a big like skyscraper? It kind of seems like a bad idea. It isn't that we aren't interested, but Himino recommends, it's crowded now, so let's come back when it's less busy. And that keeps us back, deciding to stick to the plans we'd made back at the coffee shop. Glass elevator? Wow, it's like empty. Of course it's like visual novel, so you never know. Stepping onto the floor, the atmosphere immediately switches to a lively one. The sounds of chatter are drowned out by the roaring of a large fan. The lighting is dim and tinted slightly blue. The windows are also covered, giving the feeling that it's suddenly become night. As this is an aquarium, it makes sense that the concept is based around the ocean. Duh. Yes, the pungent smell of salt is a major change. From like what it was. Amazing. It's like we've dived into the deep sea. That's what I thought too. Instead of being targeted at families lately, this seems like more like a date spot for adults. Or at least that's what the magazine said, but it's true. Okay. Amino, I'm trying to think that your motives are not so simple as like, I want to go to the aquarium with you. I think she's trying to say something. Even though this is my second time coming here, it feels like the first time. Next to the entrance is a souvenir shop, and it lacks its usual boisterous voices. It appears to be a place that can be reached both from inside and outside, but it doesn't seem to get many customers. Just as Himino had said, the aquarium seems to target adults. In an atmosphere like that, even Himino looks nervous. Hey, Mayu? What's up? I forgot to tell you one important thing. I love you. Himino makes a mysterious face and brings her mouth up to my ear. Oh gosh. What? Did you drop your wallet or something? No, that's not it. This is something that I heard. It's a bit of an urban legend, but they say the amount of people has gone missing on this rise. There's a rumor that months ago, the number missing is well into the double digits. This month alone. Huh? We had this conversation in front of the metal rack that holds the map of the aquarium. Aside from the map, there's a guide to the Manhattan East building and information about affiliated hotels. Now, okay. Me, I would be like, well, obviously it's not true. Like, there would be stories in the news about this, but it's a horror show, so I'm sure there's something else going on. During that time, we heard the sounds of the elevator opening and closing, but do not see people going into the aquarium. Manhattan used to be a shopping district, right? This seems to be why, even though there's a lot of runaways, the media wouldn't pay much attention. Oh, interesting. But supposedly many of the missing persons had stopped off at Manhattan Aquarium. That rumor? Who did you hear it from? Who indeed? No one in particular. You know, rumors spread. At Himino's words, I felt a cold shiver along my spine. Regardless of how credible the rumor is, a sense of dread shoots through me. Considering my past, it's natural that I'd feel connected to missing persons at my age range, especially if they're runaways. If that's the case, I would send chills along the back of my neck. Why on earth? You could have told me this before. Well, I thought I'd hear about it, Miyu, and I might not have wanted to come. Oh, so forgetting to tell me it was a lie then, you little. I had intended to protest firmly, but it still ended rather anticlimactically. Like, you little... Ghosts may actually exist, and this still may be unable to come back. And they still may be unable to come back, but it doesn't mean I'm interested in visiting places where they are. That's weird. This is proof that Himino has her own strange interests, yet it still made me feel even more worried. This rumor has a This rumor has a continuation, specifically people who saw the deep-sea fish booth never came home. Himino relays this piece of information that frightens me with a smile. The rumor itself aside, she wanted to pass over the question of why people were able to see the closed-off deep-sea fish booth in the first place, not wanting to discuss it at all. Wait a minute, Himino. Something else is tied in beneath the fear. Something about the aquarium and the missing persons who didn't come home. That was a sense. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez! Every time that's just terrifying. Are you okay, babe? Sorry, I guess I scared you a bit too much. I think this story's pretty exaggerated, so don't worry about it. I heard it's a fun aquarium. I think we should go take these stories with a grain of salt, right? Though her kindness is misdirected, it's kindness all the same. Having involuntarily sat down, I take the hand Himino extends to me. As I slowly rise to my feet, I respond, yeah, you're right. To think that I would hear of a connection to my precious memory in a place like this. It's strange. After 5 years, the memory should have faded. I tell myself this and then let out a small sigh. No. Especially if it's traumatic. Himino is actually showing concern, so I sit down on the bench in the rest area next to the souvenir shop. Himino even brings me a can of cocoa. And as I'm drinking it, she buys our tickets. With her doing all this, I have to go with her. Are you okay, miss? The fact that I'm thinking thoughts like, this canned cocoa is a little weak, is proof that I'm cooling down. What a stoic. As I'm starting to feel better, a male voice calls out to me. Oh, look at the crotch. While holding my half-finished cocoa, I turned to the direction the voice came from. Rather than the boy's voice I expected, it belongs to an adult, so I respond timidly. I'm okay, so... Ugh, I need to be so vigilant. Pan up. He's wearing a gray knit cap and his brown running shirt. He's tall even for a guy, so I have to look up at him. His build is almost all muscle, and my shoulders shudder a bit in surprise. What? He appeals well over the age of 20, so I can't think of a reason he would want to talk to us. Not good. Oh gosh. Whether he realizes I'm looking up at him or not, he plunks down right next to me. Even after he sits down, we aren't sitting at the same height. Pretending to fix my posture, I move away from him a little bit. I say, squeak, squeak, squeak. Are you not feeling well? Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to be like a choice thing. I'm fine, really. Thanks to my nerves and my weariness, I end up speaking unnaturally fast. Moreover, if he really is a kind person, I might end up abusing his good intentions. How cold. Well, figures. I say again without thinking, not knowing what he's so happy about. The man's mouth loosens into a grin. You're pretty clever. I give up. Why? How's she clever? She's like said 3 things. But you know, I seriously am worried about you. Your face is pale and all. His kind words are taking me by surprise. I inadvertently avert my eyes. For some reason, I became strangely embarrassed. I began tapping my index finger on my can of cocoa. Well, that aside, since you came to have fun, let me show you around. We are really just fine. Guess. The word came out so naturally they surprised even me. I have now become a complete idiot, and my eyes meet his. I work part-time in this building, so I'm familiar with it. This area, that is. Hey, what are you doing? Amino. I gasp and look up. Amino's there carrying 2 tickets and some pamphlets. With her hands on her hips, she checks her cheeks puffed out. Amino glares at the man with narrowed eyes. I think the only ones allowed to hit on junior high schoolers would be high schoolers. Wow, that's even a stretch. No, I'm trying to hit on anybody. This girl just looks unwell is all. Miu, what happened? Was it hitting on someone? Was it hitting on someone? I turn to the man, tilt my head. Since Amino has come, I feel relaxed a bit and can look him in the eyes. You're asking me that? So that was what you were doing. Amino says that in an exasperated voice in my place. She says, "You're the worst," and grabs my arm, pulling me to her side. The man rests his elbows on his knees and shrugged. Punctuates the shrug with a sigh. Mayu, let's go. And hey, mister. Amino mutters, facing the man's chest, only hearing her say, "Mister," and giving me a puzzled look. The man shows us the plastic name tag hanging from his neck. I must have forgotten to take this off. Amino, speaking of which, he did say he works part-time in this building. Then that is his entrance card or something? He slaps his knees and rises to his feet. Probably should play some kind of sport or something, because the movements as he stands look so effortlessly. So I guess if you don't play sports, does it look like it's hard to stand up? Or what? I'm Hiyoshi Kenji. I work part-time at the shop downstairs. With my entry card, I can get into the Marine Aquarium at a discount. It is a company employee. Is it a company employee discount? Something like that. I'm not exactly a company employee, but I get a half off anyway, so I come here often. Really? That's quite unexpected for you, mister. When you become older, you crave these soothing experiences as well. And I'm not old enough to be a mister. Now he says it. Compared to us, you're definitely old enough to be a mister. Hiroshi-san grimaces angrily, then sniffs in a self-deprecating manner. He appears to be a little older than a college student, so calling him old enough to be a mister is probably rude. But Himino only said the impression he gave was pretty close. With the aquarium and shared point of interest, Himino's attitude towards Hiyoshi-san softens. As proof, Himino talks with Hiyoshi-san about the shops in this building. I don't really know a lot about brands, so I sip my meringue cocoa and listen to the rest listen from outside. My iced cocoa has become lukewarm cocoa. Well, mister, aren't you also well versed in urban legends? On hearing Himino's question, my head pops up in surprise. The corners of Hiyoshi-san's mouth lift into a grin. That's rather unexpected for you as well. So you're interested in such things? Of course I am. You're only young once, so you have to satisfy your curiosity. We're looking into this closed down deep sea fish booth. There's a rumor that it's only open on the day of the full moon. Do you know anything about it? Hiyoshi-san places his hand on his chin, looking down, grunting loudly. He glances at me over the looks over at the entrance, then finally turns to Himino and opens his mouth. I think you need to give up on that one thing. Naturally, since I'm a regular here, I often hear rumors like there are spirits floating in the tanks, or every time a person dies, the jellyfish tank increases by 1, and so on. Oh, that's a new one. Himino-chan, the story you mentioned shouldn't be anything more than one of those rumors. But stop dancing around it, just tell me. Previously, I knew someone who was looking into this, just as you two young girls are doing now. Himino-chan. He went missing soon after. Missing? Without thinking about it, I joined the conversation. If someone had gone missing here at an aquarium, it holds significance for me as well. Is that for real? I glanced back in surprise. Himino is still looking at him with doubt in her eyes. Hiyoshi-san listens with what Himino says, and with a playful smile responds, "Just kidding. It's a lie." I wonder if it is a lie. Because of the words he murmurs, my curiosity has been piqued. I couldn't imagine a tense face he made as he told the story of an acquaintance who went missing being faked. That's right. But if that's the case, then there really might interest you, Maya. I've thought about the beginning, and it would be better to just give up. No way! I've already bought the tickets anyway. She's like hiding. Himino's face shows that she's enjoying herself to the end, and she takes my arm, gently pulls me closer to her. This was the signal that she was ready to go, and in my mind I prayed that nothing would happen. Well then, wanna walk me around? Hiyoshi-san calls out for Himino, who has just said, "Later," but it's me rather than Himino who hears him, and spins around first. So I make eye contact with Hiyoshi-san and say, "No, I think we'll pass. I don't know, he's kind of sketchy. I think we'll pass. It's fine, don't worry about it. I have the day off anyway. Besides, I think you'll be better off having someone as knowledgeable about this place as I am." Mister, that's not a good look. Maya says she's not interested in you. Himino's last response seemed to be piercing right through Hiyoshi-san's. Himino, it's not that I'm not interested, it's just that I'm not that I am either. May you? Don't say any more than you already have. Gosh. A bitter grin spreading across his face, Hiyoshi-san waves to us. Without looking back, we head to the gate to the Matin Aquarium. The aquarium entrance is so dark that we can't see in front of us until we are inside. I can feel the cold air in my skin, get a sensation of something heavy, causing me to rub my arms. Naturally, there's no mark indicating something has touched me, and called back by Himino's, "Hey, let's go." I passed my ticket through the machine. Well guys, this looks like a good place to stop. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you like this so far and want me to keep going. Comment if you have any suggestions on what I can do next. And as always, see you in the next video. Bye!